Hey y'all, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm. Okay, we're going to talk about something today that probably isn't covered enough, but myself just recently fell victim to it, and that is complacency. Okay? Now, it's gonna stem back. At the end of the day, I'm responsible for everything we do and fail to do on my farm. I should be, and everybody else should be. I don't blame anybody else. I blame me. But I allowed myself to be a little too reliant on this. It's an automatic door opener. It's a great device. We did a review a while back, and it's called the Chicken Guard door opener. Basically, I had to retrofit it. I had to cut off the door a little bit to make it fit this chicken tractor. And basically, it goes down and up. You can set the timer. It can go by the daylight. It can do all those things, okay? So, just like everything else, and you've heard me say this quote a lot, just like in the words of George Washington. He was talking about government, but I use it basically on everything that we tend to rely on. It can be a dangerous servant or a fearful master. And in this case, I let it be my fearful master, or my master, maybe not fearful. But the problem is that I've been noticing, we've got a ton of things on our plate, just like every other homesteader. And I've been noticing right about dusk, right up here, 3 of my barred rocks, and they're my favorite birds, by the way. They'd be posted up right here, sitting here. For some reason, they weren't going in time, okay? And I noticed it, and I said, okay, I'll get it tomorrow. I'll get it tomorrow. Okay, I come out here one day, and lo and behold, one of them's head is completely gone, and 2 of them guts are torn clean out of them. Okay, it's probably a possum or it could be any number of things, but probably a possum, maybe a coon or something. Ain't that right? You didn't fall prey. Well, anyway, the 3 of them were laying out, and the worst thing about it is barred rocks are my favorite birds, without a doubt. I love their temperament. I love their nature. I love everything about them. They do well in the hot, cold, excellent foragers, and they do great in this chicken tractor on steroid system, which you see right here. Now, in this 4x6 tractor, there was 28 birds in here. Now we have 3 less. All to do with complacency. Now this can be, in terms of complacency, y'all, yeah, I got more than enough birds to work these compost piles, as you can see here, and they're looking great. This one here is well on its way to becoming compost. But that's not the point here, y'all. Complacency can get you killed. Think about this. Now, it's been a long time since I put on my tools and I worked as a journeyman electrician out in the regular world. It's been a while. But I can tell you, I mean, unless the statistics have changed, and by and large, they probably haven't, most fatalities and injuries in a workplace happen on guess what days? Monday and Friday. Monday because you're probably up, watching sports or whatever. Your brain ain't there. You come into work Monday, you get somebody hurt, or you get yourself killed. Friday, what's happening then? You're looking forward to the weekend. Maybe your kid's got a ball game that night. Maybe you're going to watch, you're looking for, this is football season, I'm told. I guess I wouldn't know. Anyway, whatever sport's going on is probably going to happen that weekend. Maybe it's a UFC. It doesn't matter. Anyway, your mind is not on the task at hand. That's called complacency, as we all know. That's why people die on Monday and Friday. Think about it in other terms. Okay. I was just on the roof the other day trying to put in a fireplace insert. Okay, I was on basically a 20-foot extension ladder. Okay, you would probably think that most fatalities happen on a ladder that tall. You'd probably think that. But most fatalities happen on ladders that are 6 feet tall. I mean, that's a little bit taller than I am. I'm 5'10" and a half. Anyway, most fatalities happen when people fall off of 6-foot ladders, not 20-foot ladders. Why? You're thinking 6 foot, how bad could it be? That's where most people die. Okay, I'm also a journeyman electrician. Okay, there are times where I got to mess with 13.2 or 4160. That's high voltage, okay? But do you know where most people get zapped? You know where most people get Kentucky fried and get sent to the morgue? It's with your common household 120 volt. Maybe it's 240. Maybe you got hooked up with 277, in certain places. You took it for granted. We're thinking it's got to be that high voltage where most people are croaking. No, that's not where it's happening. It's with the lower voltages, folks. That's what I'm getting at here. I myself have fallen prey numerous times learning lessons as a veteran in this homesteading world, as a permaculture designer, that I shouldn't have had to ever learn. But But I'll tell you what, complacency knows everybody's number. And it knew mine. And here I am now mourning essentially the loss of 3 of my favorite birds that I intended to reproduce. It's not going to happen now because of the sickness of complacency. And yes, it can be a sickness. And honestly, my biggest pet peeve, I've been asked this before, what bothers you the worst? You know, is it bad drivers? Is it this? You know what I hate most? Honestly, and I hate it most in myself when I see it pop up? Complacency. And if you get hard enough, it's actually rooted in laziness. Because honestly, there is no reason. William and I came back from the Back to the Land Festival. We saw him out here. We came and put him up. I knew it was happening. I should have gotten to the bottom of it, but I didn't. It's bad enough when you lose animals out of ignorance, but it stings 10 times harder when you lose them out of complacency and ultimately laziness. So, yeah, I'm kicking myself in the butt, and it's going to happen for a little while longer, but it gets you right back to saying, it's like when you're driving down the road and you ought to pull over and maybe get a room for the night or maybe even sleep somewhere, but you don't. You keep finding it, and then you wake yourself up hitting those strips on the side of the road, okay? Same thing. Hey, just remember, also, it's deer season. Places, deer in a rut. They're going to be running out in the road, you know? Also, that complacency, driving down the road and thinking, okay, I'm just going to get home and it's at night or maybe it's dusk or early morning. Okay, when that deer jumps out in the road, do you already have planned in your mind? We're all complacent when we're driving down the road, which we shouldn't be because we're driving a 2,000-pound projectile if it's in the wrong hands, you dig? So maybe you ought to think, would it be better off for me to hit that deer or do I want to go off, crash into a tree going 60? Ask yourself. It all is rooted in complacency. Okay, I think I beat that horse enough. But folks, we did a recent collaboration with Clackadoodle Farm and a number of my friends in the YouTube world. It'll be linked down below, maybe even linked up here. Also, remember, if you need it, it's that time of the year, and we'll be doing a video on it soon. We got bone sauce deer repellent, best deer repellent on the planet for sale at the website. Also have comfrey. We also have consultations that William does, and he's extraordinary at it. All can be found right there at our website, y'all. Also, remember, at the end of the day, stay alert, stay alive. For real. I'm not kidding, y'all. It can cost your animals. It can cost you. It can cost your family. You don't want to live with that stuff. So, until next time, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm, where permaculture is my passion, y'all. So is trying to be safe. We'll see y'all next time.